Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Hezbollah turns Markava into graveyard for Lebanon's Hezbollah militants said it killed, listen to this, it killed and injured several Israeli invading troops in Lebanon with a well-planned three-stage ambush. Iran-backed militants claimed that it fired anti-tank guided missiles, or ATGMs, during the ambush. IDF inflicts pain on Israeli troops with ATGM ambush. We'll talk more about these attacks in details. But before I move on, just to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you happen to be one of them, consider subscribing. We want to share with you this particular news. Very, very unfortunate, but this is the reality of today. People pick and choose when and how they want to kill more people in Gaza, especially these days. Take a listen at this UN veto, US veto and UK veto looks like, of a ceasefire in Gaza happened recently.
In document S/2024-835, please raise their hand. Those against?
So
the result of the voting is as follows: 14 votes in favour, 1 vote against, 0 abstentions.
Just because of that one vote against, they could not pass this resolution for a ceasefire for the people of Gaza who are paying a heavy price and seeing this genocide getting far worse every single day. This is, you have United States of Israel. They do not want to have this genocide stopped. Now this is the response. Take a look at this particular statement from the US, I believe his name is Majid Vamia. He's responding to US veto. He tells the US ambassador, maybe for some we have the wrong nationality, the wrong faith, the wrong skin color, but we are human and we should be treated as such. So he's the ambassador to the UN from Palestine, I believe.
Madam President, the world should not grow accustomed to the death of Palestinians, to seeing Palestinian children starving, to seeing mothers carrying their children from one place to another, forcibly displaced. They should not get accustomed to seeing journalists killed and humanitarians killed, to see Palestinians detained, abducted, carried on trucks to go be tortured, sexually abused and raped. The fact we are Palestinians does not make that less shocking or less outrageous. Maybe for some we have the wrong nationality, the wrong faith, the wrong skin color. But we are humans, and we should be treated as such. Madam President, the world...
Okay, so again, complete frustration and anger from the Palestinian ambassador to the UN, and rightly so. US alone stopped this ceasefire deal. What they would allow? They would allow a ceasefire with Hezbollah, because that's where Israel is getting killed. That's where they're being defeated. Also, of course, in Gaza too, but no problem. We will not fight with Hamas as we wish. But with Hezbollah, it is not the case. They cannot pick and choose, because Hezbollah is raining rockets in Israel every single day. So let's call it a ceasefire. But for Hamas, yeah, we can wait. This is where US has gone. They have lost their morality, they have lost their consciousness, and United States, the American citizen, they now have a duty really to stand up and rise against this genocide maniac government they have. Now let's talk about how they're getting pounded by Houthi missiles. I want to share that with you on the screen. So Houthi ballistic missiles impact Israel-linked Anadolu ship in Red Sea. Accurate and direct hit. The Houthi rebels have taken responsibility for attack on a cargo ship on Monday night in the Red Sea. Houthi military spokesperson said that an accurate strike was launched on an Anadolu ship with naval and ballistic missiles and that it was directly hit. Yahya Sari, we know that this is the guy, the main of Houthis, added that the ship was attacked as it ignored repeated warnings and violated Houthi ban on entry to ships in Red Sea. Therefore, the devastation is continuing on, but at the same time, US is supplying with more money, aid, food, weapon to the state of Israel to continue on breathing and killing more people in Gaza. This is exactly what it has gone to. Now, of course, they also talk about targeting Iran itself, because if Iran is gone, then these proxies, Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah will not be able to survive. And therefore, they have appointed Trump, a man who is so desperate right now to fight Iran. Let's see what he's saying about Iran. Made a statement on November 12th.
Mr. President, I'll be brief. I know the senator from Tennessee would like to close on this matter. I think everything that needs to be said about the details of this deal have already been said. I do want to be recorded for history's purposes before I know what is going to happen in regards to this if it goes through. Iran will immediately use the money that it's receiving in sanctions relief to begin to build up its conventional capabilities. It will establish the most dominant military power in the region outside of the United States, and it will raise the price of us operating in the region. They're going to build anti-access capabilities, rockets capable of destroying our aircraft carriers and ships, continue to build these swift boats that are able to come on us, these fast boats that are able to swarm our naval assets. And they'll make it harder and harder for U.S. troops to be in the region. They'll also work with other terrorist groups in the region to target American servicemen and women. And they may or may not deny that they're involved, but they will target us and raise the price of our presence in the Middle East until they hope to completely pull us out of that region.
Okay, so Marco Rubio, just wait a second. You have more bad news. Russia is going to be supplying Houthis, Hezbollah, even Hamas with weapons. So you now have a new threat that you have created thanks to Ukraine and Russia war. And analyst, I believe he came on the Fox News or Sky News, he made it absolutely clear about Putin's plan, which is that he is going to be supplying Houthis and Hezbollah with more advanced weapon to target Israel and also United States bases in the Middle East. So Marco Rubio, you are totally messed up. Your calculation and your understanding of the whole situation right now needs to be reviewed, and you need to come up with a different plan. It is no longer Iran who is your main enemy in the Middle East. It is now also Russia and China. So US is right now in a big mess. Yes, they have the veto power. Yes, they think that somehow they have the upper hand. They can control the narrative. They can control the war. But guess what? Putin and Xi Jinping, they are coming after you. And make no mistake, after you have hit Russia with that missile at camps, this is more likely to happen now. Well, there is another report that said Ukraine just few hours ago launched another attack into Russia using UK supplied Shadow missile, or I forgot the name of the missile, armed shadow missile or shield, something like that, into Russia. They're escalating, and Russia is not just going to be attacking Ukraine, but they are going to be listing European countries and also US bases in the Middle East. So yeah, deal with that. You will face serious consequence. Now, according to another report, basically they're saying that this whole thing is just a farce, and that the world's elite, they want to make money from this war between Iran and Israel. Let's take a listen.
Elite, who are working to ensure the conflict will light the fuse to ignite a holy war that will spiral out of control into World War III and lay the groundwork for the elite to usher in a one-world government of the New World Order. According to an insider, recent events in the Middle East, including the Israel-Hamas war and now the conflict with Iran, have been planned by the global elite and are now playing out to the letter. with the ultimate goal of shaping the world in their own image. But
I don't agree with that. It sounds like, well, they have upper hand, they control everything. No, they don't control everything. We have many other countries controlling the military, controlling this war. It is not just US, Israel, or the elite as they claim. Now, we also have some reports from direct clashes in Gaza. Al-Qassam Brigade's fighters engaged in direct clashes with Israeli soldiers and vehicles in the center of Beit Lahia. According to a statement issued through their Telegram channel, Al-Qassam Brigade targeted a Markova tank and an Israeli armored personnel carrier with Al-Yasin 105 shells in the Aslan area near Beit Lahia in northern Gaza. Additionally, their fighters reportedly engaged in direct clashes with Israeli soldiers and vehicles in the center of Beit Lahia. The Israeli army announced that one soldier was killed in Gaza during this confrontation. So, one soldier got killed in Gaza. Now, don't go anywhere because there are more casualties, and I will share with you more about the fighting between Lebanon, Hezbollah, and also ITF. The Israeli army announced that one soldier was killed in Gaza. In coordination with the Martyr Omar al-Qassam forces, Al-Quds brigades announced the launch on mortar attacks on Israeli positions in Jabalia camp along with Netzarim axis. For its part, the Lebanese movement Hezbollah announced that it carried out extensive operations in south of Lebanon. Now let's see what is going on in south of Lebanon with recent attacks on them. So Hezbollah, they have escalated, as you can see on the screen, and they have killed 4 soldiers, killed military or targeted military bases. Now this is where it is getting interesting. Israeli media reported that the deaths of 4 Israeli soldiers and injuries to others during ongoing battles in South Lebanon. It is coming directly from ITF. Meanwhile, the Lebanese movement Hezbollah announced attacks on an Israeli military base east of Nahariya and gatherings of Israeli forces in the south of the country. The Israeli army claimed it detected 25 rockets launched from Lebanon toward northern Israel's coastal region, and with one landing in Akka. This is, guys, coming after we see the reports also coming from Houthi movements who are claiming to have hit the port city and the port base Eilat in Israel. On top of all of this, the attack on Tel Aviv a few nights ago, I think it happened yesterday, have shown the Israelis, the people of Tel Aviv, that they are not safe, and they actually made some announcement, Hezbollah made some announcement that they're coming after every Israeli city, and in fact they have listed 25 of them directly, but it is going to be coming after the rest of the major cities of Israel. The Israeli ambulance service stated it treated 4 individuals in Akka who suffered panic attacks following a rocket's impact on a residential area. The Israeli Home Front Command reported that sirens were activated in Nahariya and nearby areas. Al Jazeera's correspondent noted that 30 rockets were fired from South Lebanon toward the Western Galilee. Western Galilee, we have Haifa, we have Tel Aviv, we have major port cities elsewhere in Israel. They're coming, especially in the northern part of Israel, coming under attack every single day. They have also attacked Caesarea, where Netanyahu has his base, or Caesarea, however we want to pronounce it. Therefore, the attack is multifold. US right now is supplying, as we know, Genocide Joe, Israel with more weapons, and that could change under Donald Trump. We do not know, but looks like with the rhetoric of Marco Rubio, that is unlikely to happen, that Israel will get no more military help. Now, we have also mentioned about the Houthi attacks. We have mentioned about Hezbollah and also Gaza, where one Israeli soldier got killed. Now, the defeat for the state of Zionist is inevitable without a shadow of a doubt. They're struggling militarily, they're struggling with their tanks, they're intentionally, the Al-Qassam brigades are intentionally targeting those Markava tanks because they are running out of it. They need more of this in order to continue their occupation in Gaza, because without tanks there is no occupation. There cannot be any ground forces for the state of Zionists. This is why the Al-Qassam brigades or Hamas, they're targeting those Markava tanks. And now, to make things even worse for the Zionists, we will see Russia pitching in with help to these proxies in the form of weapon and who knows, even money from Russia's oil and gas industry. Who knows?